Okay, I'm going to do a quick, hopefully quick VOD review of Morpheus here on Ana. This is a silver game, so I'm probably gonna try and avoid talking too much about mechanical stuff and mainly focus on gameplay stuff because, generally, I might mention if there's a mechanical improvement to be made, but I don't want to spend too long talking about it. Just because, you should, maybe be hitting more shots, hit more sleeps, land your abilities, right? But like, I'm going to talk a little bit about gameplay. Okay, so as Ana, typically you want to be further back than your team. Not always, but maintaining that LOS is really important. So right off the bat, I'm just going to say that you probably want to either be here in this back corner to support your team, but because you're not actually on the point yet, it might have been better to follow them through over here and get that sight line. From here, pretty much the only people you're going to be able to heal are McCree and the Lucio, and your Rhine is in trouble already, right? So it's my first note. Okay, I like throwing the nade over the wall, but obviously to get there in time to save the Rhine. You see how you don't have LOS to anybody that needs healing? So you could have gone in right here, right? You would have gotten there in plenty of time. I understand why you went here, right? And I think you made the right call by not crossing out in the open. But obviously, get to a point. You might have even been able to heal the Rhine just by moving a little bit over here, right? Just stand by with your McCree. You might have been able to hit the Rhine from here potentially when he just as he comes around this corner, right? It would have been a tricky shot to land because obviously there's things in the way, there's enemies in the way that you might hit instead. But there you go. So then the Rhine dies, right? Which is unfortunate, but you could go through here and meet up with your remaining team, but you're kind of, see how you're stuck back here? So it takes what could have been a pretty dominant team fight and makes it a little bit less. Okay. Yeah, again, if you land those shots on the Junkrat, you might have been able to kill him here. Okay. I don't think you needed to reload there. I think newer players tend to reload a little too often. Here, let's see how many shots you had left. Alright, you still have... Okay, 3 shots, that's not terrible to reload there. Okay. So yeah. So do you see how, like, your Rhine, only made it back to point towards the end of that fight, and pretty much just had the whole enemy team gang up on him? But if you were behind the Rhine to keep him alive in that first fight, it would have gone very deep.
It's just a scratch, you'll be fine.
So. Alright. Looks good so far. Okay. This is probably what you want to save your nade for, situations like this where you need to, burst heal your tank line. That's, you pretty much want to use it offensively, or you want to use it to save somebody. You don't want to just use it for healing, right? Okay. I understand, a lot of people are low here, and you want to throw the nade, but nobody's like in imminent danger, right? So you could have just shot the McCree like once or twice, and he would have been just as healed as he is now, right? So you hold on to that nade, and you throw it here, and not only are you healing your tanks, but potentially you're hitting an anti on the enemies that are all grouped up around them, right? This would have been a good place to try and land a sleep dart on the charging Rhine. He moves in a straight line, and you could save your ball from dying here, or not dying in this case, but I think he got flashbanged by the McCree. But you could do that save that the McCree just did with your sleep dart. Okay, you're missing your abilities there, missing your primary fire, so that's just an accuracy issue. Okay. Yeah. You want to work not just on accuracy, but also work on quick scoping, because when the Lucio is on you, you kind of stay hard scoped. And when you're scoped up like this, you can't move as quickly. So the Lucio is able to land shots on you. Right? So, yeah, accuracy is important, but also, popping out of your, coming out of your scope and then scoping back in and landing a shot. See how static you are, like when the Lucio is coming at you? And then here, you're in scope a lot. So practice, not just aim, but practice, scoping in and firing a shot and unscoping again. Doing that. That should be like how you typically fight these engagements. Okay. Yeah. That death might have been a little unavoidable. But from here, I understand why you would want to retreat to this mega, but actually it might have been better for you to come in and grab this mega because, you can play this corner, and when the Lucio, like, this is just a little too far. Like, yeah, it seems safer because it's towards your team, but it's actually not that safe. As we'll see in a second here, you actually get surrounded. So, or alternatively, you could have made a run for it going this way to get out and back to your team, without having to, these guys are a little too far away. For, if you go this way, as we'll see in a second, you'll end up getting cornered. So, yeah, you go back to this mega, and then both DPS are on you, right? So, at this point, yeah, there's not much you can do. Okay. I don't know if that grenade was like this. A place I really like to use those grenades is on your Reinhardt when he starts swinging. Because when your Rein starts swinging, their Rein will drop his shield and he'll start swinging, and that's usually, or in this case, just these two. Like, so if you tell your Rein, like if you're using comms and you tell your Rein to like go in and you have his back, and then when he starts, he starts hitting people with his hammer, you try and hit your nade in a way that heals him and antis the enemy. That's a really good way to get your Rein to.
Get in there.
Okay. So again, I understand the impulse to heal, but Soldier is self-sufficient in a lot of, I would maybe fire one healing dart at this guy. If you hit that healing dart, fire one healing dart and then go support your Rein, because, yeah, your Soldier is in trouble, but your Rein is about to be in trouble because he's 3v1ing right now, or with the Lucio support, let's say it's 2v3. Like or 4, excuse me. The Rein is outnumbered here, right? So even though he's nanoed, he actually is probably a higher priority for your support than the Soldier. Right now. So let's see. Let's see what happens. So yeah, now Rein is really in trouble, right? He's literally on his back and getting hit from everywhere. In fact, the ball got caught in that slam too. So like both your tanks are in. Hang on, let me get the camera back. So yes, that's a great grenade actually. This is what I'm talking about, where you get the enemy tanks and your tanks with the same grenade. That's like optimal. Okay. Oh, you. Okay. So that's a really good deflect from the enemy Genji. There's not much you can do about that. Okay, I'm not too happy about trying to take the point as Ana. I think you should probably try and stay off the point. Like your Lucio's already doing contesting the point. Getting on and off. And in fact, there's no reason to stand on the point right now, right? Like, you guys don't have any capture percent. You're not towards overtime yet. Like, you coming down onto the point right now is not helpful. You know, you already have members. You know, stay back here where you're safer, right? Like, Lucio can speed out. You know, 76 can sprint out. You're the slowest person here, and you're a high priority target. And I don't think you're going to survive very long. Yeah. Okay. They almost booped you out and helped you escape, but yeah, you did not end up surviving very long on point. Oh, so I think I missed the end of this round, but I don't think anything happens here. Okay, your team doesn't. So yeah, so if you guys as a team collectively, you push the point too soon here, right? Like, if you're down and you don't think you're going to win this, you know, you want to contest at the last second to get that overtime, right? So coming onto the point early, you know, when you're still waiting on your teammates, who actually I have no idea where they are, but they're not in this fight, right? They haven't even respawned yet. So waiting that extra, you know, 85%, waiting that extra 15 seconds, so you can come together as a full team, contest at the end, get that overtime at the end. And even if you're 76 and you're Lucio are here, you shouldn't be, right? And actually, this whole round, I didn't see you take this position over here. This is classic Ana position where you should be on this map, because you got view of just about everywhere. You can support your team. You got the mini pack if you get dove, and you can escape this way, and you can escape this way, right? Like this. This is where you should be as Ana, and I didn't see you take a spot once during the whole match. So let's just unpause and finish this out. Yeah. So that's the end of the round. Let's see round 2. Okay. All right. Actually, I like this because you're playing way more back, which is this is a good spot. You know, we use these types of positions, you know, on the other maps as well. So I was just saying. You can actually push up a little bit, though. I would, you know, maybe like this corner is a good place to be. Like, obviously, initially, when your team's first pushing in, you want to be far back, but like, you can come up a little bit. You know, like maybe if you're standing at this corner, you come around here, throw a grenade, Genji's dead, right? Easy kill. You know? But yeah, obviously you want to be healing your tanks in the main part of the fight. That makes sense. But I'm just saying, like, you know, your attention, you know, McCree should be your main focus, but like, you can throw one grenade and instantly get a pick and then keep fighting over here, right? Like, just as an example.
The objective is now.
Oh, you missed that grenade. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I think your Ryan was a little doomed there, unfortunately, but. Okay, so I don't really like. I think your team is about to push here. Your Doom is definitely going in, but like you're actually already down one, so this would be a good case for like a slow push. You know, your team could take this rotation, you know, up here. It's just slow rotation, and while your Moira is coming back, and you don't have to push main. I don't really, you know, your team is not waiting for your support who just got picked, and generally you don't want to try and offensively take a fight here when you're down one. So you should probably be calming, you know. Oh, just on a heals, play slow. Let's take this flank over here, even into this room, is better way to push this point, especially when you're down one, right? Or you come all the way up here. You know, if your entire team like came back at this point, you know, and came up here, by that time the Moira would already be back, right? So, you know, you don't have to say like, oh, we're down someone, just sit at choke. You know, that's probably, you know, teams will just sit here and be like, oh, I guess we'll wait and get nothing done. You could go back here and take this rotation. It's a way better way to play it. But yeah, so I was right. Your team is going in 5v6.
Get in there.
That's a great grenade. So yeah, learning those distances for the Ana grenade is a big part of her kit. When you see Ryan going in like this, especially when he's just landed a shatter, you know he's not going to put his shield back up. So I want to see you look for the sleep here. Nice, excellent. Okay. So your team's actually winning this fight, but I still think even
Keep
though
out of my way.
you are winning this fight, I still think it would have been best to go for a rotation, this way, waiting for your Moira. You basically won this fight by committing a bunch of ults. I think. Well, I actually didn't see every single ult that went off, but I think your team just used if you look up in the top here at your team, nobody has ults anymore, right? Because I think they basically invested everything they had into this fight. And if you lose that fight, and invest all your ults to do it, then you're in a really bad position, So even though this worked out, I don't think it was the correct play.
Go. I'll keep you here.
Okay. So yeah, again, I just want to mention quick scoping would have been really beneficial.
Watching your back.
So you seem to be most comfortable sitting back in your scope, but at a certain point as Ana, you want to get a little closer, so you can support with your other abilities. Okay, like right here. This is you're way too hard into the scope, so just practice those quick scopes, which is something I need to work on for my Ana as well. Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. So I don't know if I would play from here on the point, actually. When they're first coming in, right? When the enemy team is first coming in here, then I would play right here, right? But when you get to this stage, you see they're a little more spread out. They're kind of taking the side route. I would actually play more outside here, right? So if you're standing like this, you can stand right here and you're peeking this side angle on main, right? And if your tanks need healing, you can walk not that far. Your Rhine's a little in, right? But your Sigma and your Moira, you can heal from here, and your other two tanks you can heal from here. So like with very minimal movement, you can cover like 80% of your team, whereas you're a little, this is the, it seems like a tiny difference, but like playing from right here, how much vision do you really have versus playing from like here, right? And you can just walk back and forth, right? See? So, yeah. So not only are you in danger of people coming from this side, like what just happened, right? Because this is a really common place for the enemy team to push, right? The high ground and low ground here. People can come up through here all the time, and actually you almost got killed by the soldier doing exactly that. But again, from over here, how are you going to get caught by surprise, right? The enemy comes from here, you'll see it. Well, if you're not hard scoped, you'll see them coming, right? If you're like coming out of scope every once in a while. And so anyway, yeah, just by being here, you're that much more vulnerable. Just by being over here, you're that much more vulnerable to attacks from this direction, which is what just happened. So yeah. So I think when your Rhine is in these close-up fights where he's as the other Reinhardt pushes, right? And like I said, I don't think this is a good spot to be standing. Like you could be healing your Rhine from like here and have this pillar as cover, and then when the Doomfist gets low, well, maybe not. He looks. I think he just got bodied, but potentially you can save your DPS over on that side. But what I was gonna say was, you're busy getting ambushed, but when your Rhine starts fighting the other Rhine, okay, this is a good time to calm to your Rhine. Hey, go, swing your hammer, I got you, right? So you just pump heals into your Rhine, and he just swings on the enemy Rhine. Like, you're gonna out-heal the Lucio, right? So the, Rhine's just, standing there holding W and right-click, like at this rank. Your Rhine's gonna win this engagement and maybe get a kill on the Lucio, maybe get the Rhine low enough that he gets killed. But communicate to your Rhine, let him know that like you've got his back. And then when your Rhine goes in and starts swinging, the enemy Rhine's going to drop his shield and start swinging because his shield's not keeping him safe from the enemy Rhine. And that's when you throw you shoot your sleep dart, you throw your anti, right? So, hey Rhine, I got your back. Okay, swing Rhine, swing, and you use your sleep dart, right? But once you're in theory, the enemy Rhine's going to drop a shield, and you're waiting for that with a sleep dart. right? So now, yeah, see, Orion's retreated because he's basically at full health. But like, so why is he retreating here? Probably because he doesn't know that you're pumping him full of healing. Like, if you communicate to him that he can swing, he's gonna swing. Lions love that, right? Okay, that's it. This is a good anti, but yeah, your Rhine definitely needed that support. So that's what try and hit the ability in a way that keeps him safe, right? Yeah. Okay. So I didn't love that you went in here, right? If you stay, you could have healed your teammates from actually down the stairs here. So you're here, right? But hang on, I'll show you. I'll try and pinpoint. Like, you're back here, right? This is pretty safe, actually. As your team is falling back to the back half of the point, you want to fall back even further to like down here, right? So just so just as far away from danger as you can be, where you can still see your teammates, right? But okay, you go in for the anti-grenade, and I don't think you should have stayed in. I think you should have backed out right here and gone back down the steps instead of going over here to this side. Okay. So, yeah, you're trying to heal your team, but you can see them fine from down here, right? You don't have to be that close. So you get stuck in this corner, and you die. So yeah, this team fight's not going well. Hang on, let's get back to your perspective. Okay, let's see what happened there. Ain't quite. It looks like your team is just trying to like rush back in and retake the point, like without fully grouping up, without having a plan.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay.
What? You're powered up. Get in there.
Okay, so yeah, this is pretty unfortunate. Especially okay, so basically, Genji and Lucia are working together here, and you're about to take a ton of damage all at once. So I don't know if there's a good way to avoid this, except maybe if you're a little over focused, I think, on healing your tank line right now. So one of the skills to master is support, and Ana in particular is when can you not be healing, right? When do you need to like look away and check your surroundings and see if you can sleep one of these guys is probably the only way you survive this, right, from this point, right? Yeah, so that's unfortunate, but it happens. It happens sometimes.
Claiming the objective.
Okay. Oh, so your team is actually doing really well, despite you dying. You didn't really contribute to this team fight, because you ended up getting picked here. But it's good news. We had a good team here. Could win in fights by themselves.
Get back in the fight.
Okay, so again, this position, pretty unsafe, right? Genji might come in main and then run up this wall, right, or something like that. The enemy team might come over here. Not the safest position. This is much better, especially when you have team members over here that are going to need your healing in about 3 seconds, right? You come up here, try and be on this side of the map.
Get into position. Dive deep.
Okay. Yeah, I would not have followed the Reaper out this way, right? Once you threw that grenade, I think that should have been it. Reaper from there. Reaper's on his own. So you did your job. You healed him as much as you could. You can't see the danger as it comes for you, right? But yeah, they are coming. If they're chasing your Reaper, they're going to be chasing you if you're behind him, right? Like. let's go back. Yeah, from here, right? I would not come around this corner and follow the Reaper, right? He's, you know, you healed him as much as you could. You know, that's it. Stop. you can stop right there. All right, but you follow him. You know, obviously you expose yourself to the 76, and you're about to see the Rhine. Well, he almost kills you right there. Like, if that charge had connected properly, I don't know if he'd take you off the map or if he'd pin you to this low wall over here, or just hammer. Like, if that charge had connected, I think you would have been dead. Okay, you missed that sleep, obviously. Mechanical skill, but like, you're so out in the open here. If you had stayed here with your team, you know, the team members can support you on the point, right? But once you're out in the open like this, there's no cover here, right? There's nothing to protect you when this team dives you, and you know, heroes like their team comp is highly mobile, right? So this is something you should pay attention to. The Lucio, you know, with his speed boost, he can get the Rhine into your team really fast. 76 is obviously really fast and mobile. Genji loves diving supports. Like, there's a lot of threats to you specifically as Ana, and that's like even more reason why you should be playing with your team. You should be playing with cover. Yeah.
I wasn't cut out for retirement anyways. Yeah.
Okay. I think you could have hit the Lucio here.
I wasn't cut out for retirement anyways.
Even if you can't, if you're not confident, in landing those primary fire shots, this is you know, he gets stuck in this corner, and you don't know he's gonna get stuck in this corner, but you know he's here, right? So like a nade on a Lucio, you know, you can shut down his ability to self heal, which is pretty big on getting these picks in the back line, right? Like, try and shoot him, try and hit your, you know, but maybe a grenade would be good right here. Simultaneously anti him. You do 100 damage with a grenade, and you heal your Rhine. Not that he needs it, but like, you know.
You're going to be okay.
Yeah, you don't even go for the shots on the Lucio, so I don't know if that's just like a lack of confidence in your aiming, or if you're just like hyper focused on being a heal bot. But I think you could have tried to, you know, use one of your two abilities to try and get that kill on the Lucio. Or again, tell your Rhine to swing. You know, like, you know, swing, get the Lucio, and then you're like healing your Rhine, so your Rhine is trying to get that pick, and you're communicating to him that you're supporting his play, right? Okay, so this is a little scattered, right? Like, you know, this is more getting into like what your, you know, team play, what your team coordination should be doing. Sorry, did you use... Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if you got like caught up in healing your tank line. You know, you came out here, you peaked. You know, like, you know, the 76 ult is still going on. You know, try and you know, work the corners more, right? Like, keep, you know, in a situation if he tries to start aimbotting you, if all you need to do to survive is that, right? So. So I think this team fight is pretty much over. Yeah. Okay.
Victory.
So that was actually a pretty quick game. You know, the enemy team was a little dominant, and you know, I can't necessarily guarantee that like you could have won this match, you know, just by like, you know, having a little bit better positioning and a little bit better mechanical skills. But man, Ana is such a crucial member of the team that, like, if you're not there for team fights, it makes a huge amount of difference, right? So was this the one?
Watching your back.
So I guess the trend that I'm noticing the most is that you're not necessarily playing super safe, right? You're a little bit, at threat, and it doesn't feel like a big deal. Like, oh, I got picked, and
I'm on fire. Keep
can't
out of my way.
necessarily like make sure I'm alive all the time. You have to get in there sometimes, right? But Ana is probably one of the highest value characters in the game. So just try and play a little bit safer. Communicate to your tanks when you've got their back and they can go in, and work on shoring up those mechanical skills. Your aim, especially at close range. People love to dive on us, so if you can work on hitting those those Genjis and those Lucios when they get really close to you. It will actually make a huge difference. Just playing a little bit safer and having better positioning can be the difference between how much you stay alive, which is the difference between how much healing you can put out, which is how much how quickly you can build a nano. Like these improvements build upon each other. So just keep that in mind, and good luck, man.